If you're still texting hey or WID, stop, because that shit turns her off instantly. You want her dripping with curiosity? You want her fantasizing about you at 2 a.m.? Then you better listen up. There are 3 texting secrets women can't resist. These aren't pickup lines. These are raw psychological triggers that make her chase you. She'll be checking her phone, waiting for your name to pop up, craving your energy like an addiction. And the 3rd secret? That one flips the switch in her brain. It lights a scent of sex in her mind. And if you skip it, you're just another boring dude in her inbox. No games, no fluff, just pure, stoic dominance through text. Let's get into it. ChatGPT. Secret number 1. Assume the frame, never chase. Let me be real with you. Most guys lose the battle before they even start texting. Why? Because they come in with weak energy. They try to win her over with validation. They chase, they beg, they over-explain. And women smell that energy from a mile away. Here's the truth. Attraction doesn't happen when you chase. It happens when you control the frame. This is the number 1 texting secret that separates boys from men, low-value guys from kings, the ignored from the irresistible. It's called assume the frame. In female psychology, the man who leads the interaction always wins. Not the loudest, not the funniest, the one who's in control. So how do you do that over text? Simple. You don't chase her vibe. You don't over-explain. You don't qualify yourself. You assume that she's into you, not because you're arrogant, but because you're centered, stoic, grounded. That's stoic power right there. She texts you, "What are you doing?" The average guy replies, "Just chilling, what about you?" The king stoic replies, "Handling business." You see the shift? You're not asking. You're not trying. You're leading. And that, right there, is what women respond to. It's how to attract females without even trying. It's how to seduce women just through energy. Here's another example. She says, "I'm not sure if I can hang out this weekend." The average guy says, "Oh, no worries. Let me know when you're free." Smiley face. The stoic man says, "No pressure. I'm not for everyone." Boom. That's a psychological nuke. You just flipped the frame. Now she's wondering, wait, what does that mean? Is he losing interest? Why is he so calm about this? That's female attraction psychology in action. You're not just texting. You're making her feel something. And women crave that emotional stimulation, that emotional leadership. You're not reacting to her energy. You're projecting your own. You're showing her you're a man with purpose, direction, confidence. That's what's attractive. That's what makes you unforgettable. You want to know how to get more dates? How to make her crave you? Start texting like the prize. Because when you text from the mindset of, "I know I'm valuable. I know she's lucky to get my attention." She feels it. She responds to that energy. She starts chasing you. She starts initiating. She starts fantasizing. Not because you're doing anything flashy, but because you're rooted. You're present. You're a high-value man who doesn't bend for approval. Let me give you the simplest shift that will change your texting game forever. Stop trying to impress her. Start expressing your standard. That's how you attract women without effort. That's how you build the stoic bond. That's how you become the man she can't stop thinking about. Because here's the harsh truth. Women don't want to teach you how to lead. They want you to just fucking lead. They want a man who walks in with calm control, who doesn't overreact, who doesn't get clingy when she's cold. They want a man who can say, "Take it or leave it. I'm good either way," and actually mean it. So stop texting like a boy hoping for her validation. Start texting like a man who knows who the fuck he is. That's the frame. That's the foundation. And without it, no curiosity, no sexual tension, no attraction. But once you've got it, every message you send becomes a turn-on. So remember, brain assume the frame. Speech balloon be brief, bold, and calm. Fire and never, ever chase. You're in the game now. Secret number 2 is coming up next, and it's going to flip her brain into obsession mode. Secret number 2, the curiosity spike. Now that you've got the frame, it's time to make her addicted. How? Curiosity, not logic, not facts, not compliments. Curiosity is a drug, and if you know how to dose it right, she'll be chasing your energy like a high. See, here's the thing about female attraction psychology. Women get bored fast, not because they're evil, because they're wired for emotional stimulation. The moment a guy becomes predictable, dry, flat, dead. But when you introduce mystery, when you drop just enough to make her wonder, boom, you just hijack her mind. That's the stoic bond in action. You're not forcing her to think about you. You're making it impossible not to. Let me give you the formula. Tension plus gaps equals obsession. Here's how it works in texting. Let's say she says, "You're hard to read." Instead of explaining yourself like most guys, you say, "Good. You're not supposed to read me yet." What just happened? You added a gap. Now her brain is spinning. She's curious. She's leaning in. Or she asks, "Are you always as confident?" You hit her with, "You haven't seen anything yet." You didn't explain. You didn't brag. You left the door slightly open, and her mind walked through it. You want to know how to seduce women over text? Say less. Mean more. That's real stoic masculinity. You let her imagination do the work. Here's a deadly one-liner. She says, "You're trouble." You say, "Only if you stay too long." Fire, that's what we call a curiosity spike. She doesn't know what you mean. She's not sure if it's flirty, dangerous, or both. And guess what? That uncertainty creates sexual tension. That's how you keep her engaged. That's how to attract females who've seen it all. Because trust me, she's used the guys texting her novels. You drop one sentence that flips her whole mood. And if you really want to melt her brain, start using this technique called open loops. Example, she texts you something playful or teasing. You reply, "That just reminded me of something I shouldn't tell you," and then go silent. Don't explain. Don't follow up. Just vanish. Bro, she will lose it. She'll double text. She'll get hooked on figuring you out. And once a woman tries and decode you, you already won. That's how to get more dates, more attention, more desire, without saying much at all. Here's why it works. Most guys are either boring, or they overshare trying to be interesting. You sit in the pocket. You drop sparks. You watch her light the fire. That's the king stoic way. You don't dance for attention. You make her curious. You stay calm while she spins. That's high-level seduction. Now here's a quick cheat code. When in doubt, text her something that sounds like a secret, not a full story. Just a hint. Examples. "I probably shouldn't tell you what I'm thinking right now." Or, "You'd be surprised how I'd handle you." Short, mysterious, loaded, and best of all, it doesn't try too hard, because that's the real flex. Stoic seduction isn't loud. It's quiet, it's still, and it's dangerous. The kind of texting that gets in her head, that makes her nervous to open your messages, because she already knows she'll like what she sees. That's power. So remember, build tension, drop gaps, never explain, and always keep her curious. When she's curious, she's invested. When she's invested, she's attracted. And when she's attracted, that's when you hit her with secret #3, the most powerful one, the one that triggers a sense of sex in her mind. And if you get it right, she'll be soaking in thoughts of you before you even touch her. Secret number 3, trigger the sexual imprint. All right, now we're entering deep waters, because this isn't about flirty banter anymore. It's about planting a sexual imprint in her mind. So intense, she'll associate you with pleasure, even when you're not around. This is the secret most men never figure out. But once you do, game over. She's yours. Here's how it works. Most guys either play it safe and boring, or they get too sexual too fast. Both are weak. But the king stoic understand this. The mind is the gateway to the body. Before she even wants you physically, you need to ignite her imagination. That's where the sexual scent lives. In her mind, not her body. So what do? You drop subtle, suggestive messages. that trigger emotional arousal, not just physical. Let's break it down. You're not saying, I want F asterisk CKU. That's low value, desperate energy. You're saying, I have a feeling you'd be dangerous to be alone with. Or, you don't even know the half of what I do to you. You're not being vulgar. You're being suggestive. You're making her wonder. You're letting her own mind turn it sexual. And that's female psychology 101. Women want to feel like they chose it, like they crossed the line. And the man who knows how to create that space, unforgettable. Let me give you the text that turns her on. Text her this. You're the kind of trouble I'd risk everything for, but only once. Fire, that's it. No emoji, no follow-up, no apology. Let the silence burn. She'll read that message over and over. It'll echo in her mind when she's lying in bed. It'll attach your name to that feeling. And that's called sexual imprinting. She may have texted 50 guys this month, but she'll only remember you. Because you didn't come at her with weak desire. You came with calm, controlled tension. That's how to seduce women. That's how to use stoicism and attraction in perfect balance. And you only need one of these messages every few days. You're not flooding her with attention. You're dripping it like honey, making her crave the next drop. Here's another advanced one. I had a dream about you last night, but I probably shouldn't describe it. You say that, you just lit the scent of sex in her brain. She'll be dying to know. She'll replay the message in her head. She'll fantasize about the rest. That's real seduction. You don't need to send pics. You don't need to beg. You don't need to ask. You just text like a high-value man, a stoic man, a man who knows how to turn her on through words. So let's wrap this up like a king. Brain recap. The 3 texting secrets. Assume the frame. Stop chasing. Led with calm dominance. Set the tone. You are the prize. Curiosity spike. Say less. Mean more. Create gaps that make her obsessed. Never be predictable. Trigger the sexual imprint. Speak to her mind. Plant desire. Light the scent of sex in her imagination. Bro, if you made it this far, you already know what time it is. This isn't about playing games. This is about female psychology. This is about emotional leadership. This is about being a king stoic in a world full of clowns. When you master these 3 texting secrets, she will feel it. She will crave it. She will chase you. Not because you forced it, but because you understood her. So stop texting like a simp. Start texting like a weapon. Let her feel your power. One message at a time. Fire if this hit you hard. Hit that like button. Bell subscribe for more stoic attraction strategies. Brain drop King Stoic in the comments if you're done chasing and ready to lead. This was 3 texting secrets women can't resist. See you in the next one. Stay dangerous. Stay grounded. Stay king.